Oh, did you screenshot
We are
all those
live.
pictures?
I did.
Hmm?
I said I did.
Did you?
You
Hey,
mean did I send
Frank.
them to you? Is that what you're asking?
No, then I said, did you screenshot them?
Yes, I did that. Lonely chat. What's
Yes.
up, Frank? What's going on? Hopefully you've been well.
I did those.
You could be our sound and video check.
Yeah. Awesome.
Awesome. He already knew that was going to be the next question.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
With this hurricane, I don't know. People may not.
I mean, they're probably in the house, so they probably will. How's it going with you? What state are you located in?
It's not. It's Travis. Hey, Travis.
Hey, Travis,
Hey,
what's going on? We are well. We are very well. Very well. Cannot complain. Not one bit.
Not even a little.
Travis, the wife watching as well?
Hey, signed up for our Patreon.
Hey, Anthony, what's going on?
How are you doing?
Hopefully you're well throughout this hurricane as well.
Yeah.
You know, we're just hanging out for a little bit. We're going to let everything populate a little.
Yeah. Near Conway. Yeah. How's the weather down at the coast for you guys, Travis?
Oh, yeah. Frank's in New Jersey. Yeah,
in
good
Jersey.
old time in Jersey. Should be decent weather up there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't.
That was definitely not supposed to be on the video.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I'm turning as red as my hoodie.
Come on, you know you can.
He sent it to
show
me.
them
I'm
dance
like,
moves off.
oh my god. The middle of Missouri. Oh, that's cool. But his folks are in Florida.
Oh no.
Mm.
Are your folks safe? Are they all right? Have they checked in with you?
Let's see. Wasn't too bad. The beach got hit hard, and the town near them had a lot of downed trees. That was Travis. Well, at least you guys weren't, hit. Oh, Frank says he wants to hear and see you sing again. You sing and dance now.
Rap.
Trust me, he doesn't sing or rap very well. Neither one of us got those vocal styling skills.
Don't put me in your category.
You didn't, babe.
No, they got evidence.
It's it.
They got evidence.
Trust me, I'll get my evidence. I'll pay you back.
What's going on, Bryce?
Hey, Bryce. Oh, Doolittle. Hey, Aaron.
Yeah, what's going on, Aaron?
Sunshine. Just want to thank you guys. Oh, we're glad you like her.
Love
she was
the
really
vid.
beautiful.
Yeah, love
and
the
she got real
reel.
thick. She got real thick.
The reel was pretty cool. Absolutely.
Travis said he seconds you singing and dancing.
The singing and dancing.
My. Hello.
I don't know. We have to work on that singing and dancing. What's up, Jeff? What's going on? What's up, Andrew, over on Facebook? If you guys have time during your busy Friday night, jump over to YouTube. I keep confusing them all. Yeah. And we got a little live going and talking geckos and a little bit of business.
So I'll give you a little background on that video. if some of you haven't seen it, the video is of me trying to explain to William who Billy Ray Cyrus is, okay? And I'm like, because I had a TikTok that it was a trend on TikTok, and it was like, show your crush, show your childhood crush, and then show who you ended up with. Well, I'm not embarrassed to say it. That mullet man had me when I was in 6th grade. So I had like literally had a poster on the wall of Billy Ray in his mullet masterfulness.
She just forgot the,
And
the record button.
but what was funny was I did the trend on TikTok. It's still on TikTok. And so it was like, show your childhood crush, and then it's all these pictures of Billy Ray, and then it goes and it goes to his picture. So everybody was like laughing or whatever that saw it. And so I was trying to explain to Will later, like, who Billy Ray is. Like, he's like, I don't know who that is. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Miley Cyrus's dad, like Achy Breaky Heart. And he's like, I have no idea. So I'm like playing him the song to get him to understand who it is. And yeah.
Travis says his dad doesn't like country music, and even he knows who Billy Ray is.
I know. It's like, this is sad.
I'm sorry.
It's you pathetic. You are pathetic.
When I think about that, I'm very,
one track.
Yeah, one track when it comes to music. It's so helpful. My track, especially gym and stuff like that. So yeah. I couldn't imagine listening to Achy Breaky Heart in the gym lifting weights.
Hey, William. Yeah.
Sloan, what up? Darren, what's going on? We're going to have to get Darren on one of these lives as well. We just started working a little bit with StreamYard, trying to figure out some of the ins and outs. Blackburn, yeah. What's going on, guys?
Zach. Hey,
yes,
Kirsten.
yes.
I imagine it's Zach.
Man, we was hanging out with them last week.
Yeah, Kirsten told me the other week. She's like, "Is Zach typically?"
Women in their attention span.
Hi, Jay.
So we got quite a few people over here online. What we wanted to do again, basically, is have some more fun. Yep. Especially while we got the storm going on. We had so much fun, had so much positive feedback, and quite a few people actually contacted us and said we should do it like on a weekly basis. We're gonna try.
That's right.
We're gonna definitely try.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good luck at the Atlanta show. Definitely go see Blackburn Exotics down at the Atlanta show. We didn't make it out there to that one.
No, we didn't.
But they have awesome geckos. They have amazing geckos that they produced.
Absolutely.
They have awesome geckos they got from us. They really are running hard with it.
And if you're looking for some really, really high quality leopard geckos,
oh my gosh,
Blackburn is the way to go. So check them out. So we because we got so many, people messaging us saying, hey, you should do this regularly. We said let's try to start doing something. So we actually ask questions on our Instagram feed, ask us anything. I think it feeds over to Facebook too.
It does.
But Ricky Swan, hey.
What's up, Ricky?
So we got questions all throughout the week so that we can answer them on the live here. So it works out because we've actually picked up some questions all throughout now.
So I think we have roughly about 11 to 13 questions. If you guys ask questions in the comments, we'll do our best to answer pretty much everything. Won't occupy too much of your time. We'll laugh and joke and have a blast. At the end of the live, we'll conclude it with, we'll also do a giveaway. We're actually going to give away, I think, one of our bags we talked about in the last live. They're actually not available for sale on the site. We have them for sale at the shows. As kind of like a premier source of coming and visiting us and seeing us. So it's going to be free of charge. Really nice, adorable bag. Just, you'll basically contact us, send us your information, and we'll get it out to you.
Oh, Sostic. Hi.
Hey, what's going on, Sostic? We definitely look up to what you're doing. Definitely, if you're not following Sostic, I don't know how you found us, because that man has been doing it pretty solidly for quite a long time.
Yeah,
so watching. Definitely go follow him.
We've been watching for a minute.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. We do need to come a little further west.
Hey, we're trying, Nita. Over on Facebook, trying to get further west. We want to do all the major shows And we want to do it in a capacity of coming, showing what we have, showing what we work with, but more to meet the people. So we're trying to open up an angle in the marketing industry where, yes, we can be down in Texas, we could be in Washington, we can be in Baltimore, and it's not strictly just to make sales. It's more, hey, if you want to come and get some cool geckos because we're local to you, awesome. But we also want to come out, take some pictures, and do some video with you guys.
So let's talk, because we actually have something really exciting that we want to say. Say obviously, we are actually flying out next Friday to go to Tinley.
Yes, we'll be in Tinley.
We are going to Tinley, and we're not vending.
Yeah, that's why I'm not as enthusiastic, but I'm excited to meet people and walk around and not really have the responsibility of tending the table. But we really want to get out there on a promotional and marketing avenue. And we've been waitlisted for literally 3 years. And we're figuring that we're not going to get the call to get in. So we started making arrangements to at least come out. There's a bunch of people that's going to be there that we actually want to meet in person.
Yeah. So Pomona is one that we are really talking about, Rain. And Baltimore show, we've done it once. I don't know that we'll go back. Will. I don't know. We'll see.
We probably will.
And yes, Sostic is actually, you're giving away a killer gecko over there with like 5 other people. So yeah, go check their IG when you get off of here. Just head on over there. It does require Instagram, so.
Yeah, just to cut in really quick, if you guys are watching this over on Facebook, if you have YouTube, we would love for you to switch over to YouTube. Come visit us. You'll also be a free entry to possibly win some Flawless Crested Gecko merchandise.
Yep.
So swing over there and check us out.
Yeah, I know. Wish you could make it to Tinley. We'd love to meet you. So we're going to go ahead and start with some of these questions that we've been asked. We were asked by B4 Imperial Logan. I'm not sure who that is, but what is the largest gecko that you have? I guess either Heist or Rockstar.
Yeah, and I would say
84 grams.
84 grams. Yeah. And the thing with those guys are some guys they chase lineage that produce heavier females or heavier males or heavier gecko altogether. We don't typically do that. Actually, with our 2 heaviest geckos, we've actually had them on diets where we monitor. Not only we do feedings twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays, but we don't give them live bugs. We monitor how much food we're giving them in one sitting, and they still, seem to hold their weight. So they're of sound structure. They're not having the rolls on rolls on rolls. We try to watch out for that as well.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that our geckos are going to be as healthy as possible.
Too, like I think we posted Heist the other day. She's literally our largest gecko. She's a house. Heist is a house, but she's like 84. I think she's 84 grams.
I believe she is.
And she literally eats so much less than every other gecko that we have, her and Rockstar.
Right.
But they're just so big. They were big from the beginning. They've just been big geckos.
Rockstar was a bug animal though. Like
when she was little.
I mean, she would, but she would eat all of her diet and eat and hunt down every single bug. So you start tapering off of bug feedings, and
she's still took off. Like she's just still big. She's just big in general. And Heist has always been big.
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
I think the closest is going to be Chicago.
Probably is going to be like Tinley or Schaumburg, something like that.
So we did Schaumburg, which is probably the closest to St. Louis show.
How many crickets do you suggest a week to different ages, like baby, juvie, and adult?
I think it depends. When we do our cricket orders, we kind of have it down to a science at this point. We ordered 2 different sizes. There's either full size, and if they don't have full size, we'll do 3/4. So that's for all their juvenile and breeders. And then we'll do primarily 1/2 inch crickets. And if they don't have 1/2 inch, we'll do 3/8. So those are the 2 sizes that we pretty much have to offer.
Would you say crested geckos in captivity are significantly bigger than ones in the wild?
I don't know. I was still kind of answering the other one.
Oh, well, it was about crickets, so
I think
that kind of goes along with feeding.
I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We never had a F1 or F2 directly collected from the wild.
Hey Chad, that's Kaimana. What up, fam? When do you review your holdbacks, and what are your criteria on who to keep?
That's a very difficult question.
Yes.
And since we started expanding as far as how many different projects we're working in, we've learned that geckos change dramatically. And it may be, we look at them, make sure that they're healthy and moving around great, and often attacking our little fingers when we put them away when they're fresh out of the egg. We make sure that they're clean and they're fed, and we check on all their responses. But other than that, we try not to look at them as far as holdbacks or not holdbacks, probably until maybe 10, 15 grams before we even start glancing at it to notice what changes are being made.
If not heavier than that.
Yeah. We tend to trying to hold back everything, honestly, to, I don't know, 20 grams, 25 grams until we can evaluate male, female, how much further is this male moving the project between the parents where he looks, dramatically better than the previous expression of the lineage.
Hey, Jennifer, is Will with you? I think we
Yeah.
call him Lil Will. It's like Big Will and Lil Will.
Hey guys, if you're over on Instagram, come hang out with us on YouTube. We're giving out some FCG merchandise and talking geckos tonight on this hurricane-ish night.
Yeah, it's
So
pouring in our
come
background.
check us out.
Okay, is there a morph that you think is underrated?
What's your morph that you think is underrated?
You know what? I really, really, really like, and it has to be like really nice, but I really like patterned geckos with Dalmatian spots.
I was just talking with Robbie's Reptiles actually.
It's nice.
Because we've had a
He
number
can't
of
stand them.
educated conversations back and forth, and he can't stand pattern.
No.
Actually,
Hey, Attica.
Brian doesn't like Brian at altitude
No, he
doesn't like
doesn't. He's not a big
pattern
fan.
Dalmatians, but we have quite a few stunners that are
Like
pattern
I think of our
Dalmatians.
Lotto, and I actually just took a few little videos of one of Lotto's offspring, and she's beautiful, just beautiful, and she's got, Dalmatians, so I'm excited about that one.
And that just tells you how many different directions you can go in the hobby, and still kind of get along with everyone. You know, you have a difference of opinion.
Frank says, congratulations again on an absolutely beautiful animal you showed a few days ago. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We love that little one.
So also, just to mention something, and appreciate you, Ricky. Yes, you're right. People either love them or hate them. What we're doing, we're trying to take not as necessarily 100% scientific route with our geckos, but we also want to track what's going on. So the gecko that he's referring to a few days ago, we hatched out was a phantom lily white exantic. So lily white is going to be your codom or your incomplete dominant, and then phantom as well as exantic are both recessives. So basically you have a double recessive in codom crested gecko. So that's what I was leading into with the scientific terms. We want to chase down and identify what's going on with our collection and with our geckos, and see if we can get more gene stacking going on. Because if you hear anything from us, that is the direction of the future of crested geckos. Similar, if not the exact same as ball pythons, is going to be gene stacking.
Hey, Respawn from Florida. We hope you are staying safe. It's nice to see somebody jumping on here from Florida for sure.
Absolutely.
We're thinking about you.
Yeah, definitely praying for you guys. Hey, what's up, Tom? I see Geckological on Instagram. If you're on the Instagram, if you guys can jump over on our YouTube, give us a sub if you can. But we're just hanging out during the storm, talking geckos. We'll love some Tom's knowledge. Oh wow, you're in Key West. Sorry to hear that.
Wow, 1020 Gecko Gang.
Yeah, prayers is going out for everyone.
Oh, Omni, you're in Florida. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Stay safe. Please stay safe. What is your opinion on the new article about super caps about small nostrils?
We were actually involved in some of the reading and some of the history on it. Um, and we're amateurs as far as some of what these guys were talking about scientific terms. I think it definitely does wonders information wise for all the keepers and breeders out there. I think if you are, I guess, breeding, I think as far as the single form cap um, platform, I think you're perfectly fine. I think cappuccinos and super caps are no different than lily whites.
Right.
Um, Only difference is, like I said, super form of a lily white is lethal.
Yeah, it's completely fatal. So,
Um, so right, it's completely fatal and it won't survive. So people do not breed for them.
so if
So
you,
that's probably the same way we're actually going to treat it within our collection. Cappuccino is just another gene, another piece of the puzzle.
we actually had specifically planned on with the cappuccinos that we have, we were going more towards the frappuccino route
That's
to,
what we would like to,
that's
yeah.
where we were going with ours, not necessarily
As well
super
as
caps.
Azantic, cappuccino Azantic's trying to throw it in there as well. But I mean, it's just another
Mhm.
gene. I don't want to read too far into it.
Mhm.
It's great. It's informative. It definitely educates everyone.
So Tom from Geckological, who is a very well educated in gecko science and genetics, the percentages of the issues are really low on the super caps, is what he's saying.
Right.
So you got it. It's so hard because this is nature. I mean, it is nature and it is genetics and it is just like humans, for instance. I mean, you have all kinds of birth defects and things like that, and it's part of evolving.
Mhm.
So that's pretty much all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah, you just need to, I guess, educate yourself as much as possible and just move forward and
Mhm.
utilize everything, all the information you kind of gain. We kind of actually also reference it to our previous profession, like with law enforcement. I think that's a good rule of thumb. How often do you come home and you hear, "Oh, this officer helped the little old lady cross the street"? It's not very often, but 99% of the time, that's what police officers are out there doing, and that 1% of the time where you
Mhm.
have injustices and things being done wrong is plastered all over the internet, and it should be put out there, it should be well
Mhm.
informed, but that's all you hear about. So it's the same
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 concepts.
concepts.
What is your strategy for line breeding? Like, do you breed parent to child ever, or only like cousin to cousin type stuff?
um the way we do it is at this I think there's a place for line breeding. I don't think we'll ever get there, and I'll explain why. I think when you discover a gene or a line, like in Xanthic, you have, it just come out, which isn't now. I'm just using it as an example. But you have two hets that are producing some visuals, and down the line, you'll get a chance to kind of branch out and bring new blood in. But if you already have those lines established, I don't really see a point in necessarily line breeding. What we do, for example, we'll go out and we'll research different breeders or different lines, and we'll acquire from all over the states and sometime international, whatever we're
Mhm.
searching for. We try to match up the best lines with the best lines and continue to work with that. It's so much stuff out there in the crested gecko world where it's not necessarily necessary for what we're trying to
For
do.
what? For our purposes, and that's just us. That's just our opinion on our specific program. Let's see, the C2 gene.
C2G and everyone, guys, this is not just facts. I've done research, Audra's done research. This is just our opinion of how we interpret some of the educational things we've actually researched. But the C2 gene is the same as the hypo gene, in our opinion. Yes, it is recessive, and we treat it as such, as the same.
Yes. So let's see. Oh, okay. So hi, I recently got a crested gecko and did a ton of research. So that's good. You should definitely do your research before getting any animal. But are there any tips that I need to know? So basically, just as a beginner, just make sure you're, keeping that gecko hydrated, but not overhydrated, because you can always cause respiratory issues when you do that. Feed them consistently and don't stress over them too much. A lot of times when you're over the top of them and you're stressing and you're like, are they eating? Are they eating? You're actually causing them more harm than you are good. So let them do their thing, and make sure they have a clean enclosure, whether you do enclosures or tubs, either way. Just enjoy it. Let's see, line breeding has the time and a place for sure, only to be done responsibly for about genetics. Absolutely, 100%.
Yep.
Yes.
What's another question?
Just over here, this is Instagram, right? You got us on Instagram. So Instagram followers, you guys, if you're not over on YouTube, come on and follow us on YouTube. We're over here hanging out on our channel live. So a lot of the questions that we're getting are coming from this chat. And we're trying to hit up, Instagram followers, but we want to make sure we get all these questions answered. We may miss some in the chat over here on Instagram.
Right.
But let's see. All right. Who's Geckos? We're supposed to be with him not too long. If you had to choose one type of morph in crested gecko, what would it be? For me, hands down,
what's gonna be
my Xanthics.
Yours is?
Like 100%. Because it's so it's hard to come by. They're hard to come by, they're visually so pleasing to me.
True. For me, I would say probably a beautiful high white expression, extreme red. That's what I would choose.
Yeah, that's nice too.
Yeah. That would be my choice.
Originally, obviously, the high whites were my favorite and the reds were his. But I guess as I've worked with them more and become more knowledgeable in the area of crested gecko genetics and just in general, I think that I find it incredibly interesting, and I just want to delve more into it.
Right.
So, what size tub do you use for adults?
It could be 25 quarts and up. Even go as far as, I think, 25 quarts. I think it's all the way up to 36 quart.
Yeah. Hi, Petzotics. Let's see.
What's your least
Congratulations on 50,000 YouTube views. Thank you. That was so awesome.
Thank you, Doolittle.
Least favorite morph? I don't know. I have one.
I don't know. For me, I guess least favorite, I would guess it would probably, and it's messed up because, I think it doesn't get enough credit, but I would say probably Flame. That would be my least favorite. Earlier they asked what would be what's like a sleeper or most interested. I forgot the exact question, but my choice would be like Tiger. I like tigers.
Yeah, he does. He loves tigers. Yeah. Let's see. How many babies have you guys produced this year?
I think we're touching right around 900 so far, and still getting eggs. So we'll probably end up around our average, which is around 1,200 eggs.
Let's see. Are you going to be at the Show Me Snakes show in Greenville? No, we are not. We won't be there this month.
You know what? I don't know. We'll talk about. We may come and actually just go.
I mean, we might go, but we're not going to.
We're not going to vend.
No, we're not going to vend.
But we probably will go.
Yeah. Let's see. How do you personally distinguish a Dow from a super? It seems everyone has different tier on where Dow becomes supers. I would say, like, for me personally, it's like just visual for me. I say, like, some people say, 100 or more spots or whatever. Right. And that's, visually you can kind of tell, like our spot 'em got 'em. Mm-hmm. Super,
It depends for me. I'm in agreement with you on that. I am a little bit, I guess, the old school way of thinking. For older juveniles to full size, I would say 100 spots or more.
Definitely.
But juveniles and under, or younger juveniles and under the babies, I think it depends a lot as far as classification, because if they come from two super Dow parents, and I've seen geckos pop out in that 5 grams, they have like 10 spots on them. and we grow
Yeah.
them out and they're literally
Colored.
engulfed
Yeah.
with spots. So I mean,
Yeah.
essentially it was a super dial the entire time, but if you go about 100 spot theory, then you'll miss out.
Yeah. DBCB Exotics, they specialize in tiger dowels. That's cool. That's cool. Let's
I
see.
see you, Chad. I see you,
Yeah.
Chad. How many super stripe breeding groups? So we have the empty back line
Yeah.
from Brian, and through some very expensive
Yeah.
acquisitions, um, we ended up buying a bunch at different times. But he grades his, and we were trying to get all the ones that completely had empty dorsals.
Completely empty.
And for us, that proved to be an amazing angle to work, because we are literally popping out flawless empty backs. So you get into where you're working with genetics and then expression of those genes. So not only are they empty backs, but they have a higher expression of the gene. So they're sitting there and they're reciprocating it over and over. So we have, to answer your question, I would say probably we don't do groups, which is kind of shocking to everyone. We don't do breeding groups, but I will say that we have roughly, I want to say, I don't know, maybe 11 or 12 breeders.
Brian's funny because he's like,
yeah, how long is that gonna
how long is
last?
that gonna last? I'm
you
like,
know,
it's just
I don't know. It's
how
a
we want
lot
to
of
do
work,
it.
but we
It
don't
is.
we don't do
We
breeding
don't do breeding
groups.
groups.
What's up, Luke?
Hey,
Luke.
Luke.
Hey guys, if you guys have
Nice.
kids that are into gaming and fitness and fun, go follow King Gamer Luke. That's our son. He does his best to do vlogs and
Yeah, he
has
does.
fun. He's an amazingly positive and smart kid.
Wonderful kid.
So definitely, if you want some kid friendly channels to watch, definitely need to plug them in.
Yes. Steve says, any cool holdbacks? Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. So
Like-
what we've been doing in the past, and I'm sorry, 1 second, guys, over on Instagram, come plug in over on YouTube if you can.
Tom says empty backs seem to
Yes,
be the new sleeper
they
in the
are.
hobby.
They are.
Yeah, I agree.
They're highly sought after, but definitely a sleeper. And I guess to put it out there, they are super stripes. They're just a different line that we're focused on by a specific person.
Oh wow. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Somebody asked on Instagram, would you ever think about doing a joint show with Brian over here in the UK? There is honestly no one over here working at the standard breed to. I know Brian fancies a holiday in Lake District. I fancy a holiday anywhere outside of the US.
we're not really putting any restrictions on what we're doing or plans.
Yeah.
We're trying to continue to grow. We want to be positive for the hobby and for the industry. We're trying to let people know that, hey, you can have fun in this hobby, you can chase your dreams, you can chase projects and want to work with certain projects, and you can also make it a very productive business.
You can. I mean, there's, for us, we value these animals so much, and because they have given us freedom to spend with our family, to be able to be with each other more, to be able to do things that we never would have thought possible. And so, in that regard, like a lot of people get really upset when you talk about having a business with your animals, but that's just not the case, guys. If I'm gonna sit here and I owe everything to my animals,
right,
then that's where we put our emphasis on their care, their well-being, the way they look, the way they feel, the way they, all these things. And so it's like, it's just, you can do it all. You can do it all.
And then especially getting family involved, we got the kids, they're working with the animals as well. They're helping with cleaning clubs and actually presenting different things. We often let them run the shows when they get the shows and, talk with the customers and educate the customers that are inquiring about crested geckos. And it's fun to see, all the life lessons that this is allowing us to continue to. Yes, there's different ways you can teach it, but it's kind of cool to let crested geckos be the base of, your son or your daughter sitting there talking to someone, looking them in the eye, talking loudly so they can be heard, educating someone, that's older than them on animals that they're just like in shock that they even have the information on.
Both Blackburn and Jen said Greenville is the Halloween show. We need to come hang out. Yeah, we'll probably. I mean, we'll definitely stop in. I say we dress up. We
You
should
know
dress
what?
up. We should dress up.
Okay,
Eh?
we could do
We
that.
should be diamonds.
You know I'm silly,
Be
so
oh god,
eh,
y'all.
Jennifer, oh, you want to pick up? You know, we're always available, and everyone that's listening, if you guys ever want to inbox us or jump on Patreon or any of that stuff, we love to answer questions. We love to give you as much information that we may have, and if we don't have the answer, we'll try to find it for you.
Let's see. Chad says that's awesome. He doesn't have any groups yet. Not enough for all that. Yep. But I see. Hey, yeah. Let's see. Are we running out of room? Okay, space was yes. We have plenty of space.
Yeah.
That's what we actually created this vault
Yes,
for.
yes, that's why we started like everyone else. We moved it around quite a bit. We have a decent sized house, and it was taking up one bedroom, then two rooms, and it just started taking over the whole house. So then we had to put our heads together and figure out, we're gonna build a facility on the property.
Yeah, Kirsten will dress up with us because remember she was the saw.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh man,
That's hilarious.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, Attica, thank you. You guys had the best customer service. We really appreciate that. That is
Yes.
something that like was foremost for us from the very beginning. Customer service is bar none the most important thing for us.
So an angle of that. So what we try to make a standard. We love Morph Market. We like our site. We like all the different social media platforms. What we try to put out there is a positive foot forward where, hey, these animals are allowing us to do this, and we have our passion, everything is there. And we don't understand why we can't also add to the hobby and be that person or that brand that sets the bar. Hey, you inquire about an animal, we try to make sure you get a response back. We answer all your messages, your questions. And I do understand from a seller's aspect how it can be frustrating, but you often have to ask yourself, this is what you're doing it for, so we always tell ourselves that. So it's never a bother, it's never an issue.
Let's see. We had two. Hey AJ.
What's going on, AJ?
Hey guys, I was wondering if it is safe to ship 3-month-old geckos.
It depends on size. Yes, I would say we don't typically ship anything under 5 grams.
Definitely.
That's always been a rule of thumb for us. I think you can ship over 3 grams, but we never do.
We'll do it. We do. We are all literally everything's been like 5 grams and up. But
Right.
we don't sell a lot of younger.
Right. When you guys see like mystery boxes and stuff like that, it's trying to get you guys. We get a lot of messages about babies or younger or lower price stuff. What we've done is, which I'm sure all you guys are doing as well, we collected a lot of geckos one by one. If you heard our story from the beginning, we went to almost everyone in the hobby and the game that was working with things that we were interested in, and we were purchasing literally gecko after gecko after gecko, several geckos a month, thousands and thousands of dollars in crested geckos. And you start working with a certain caliber of crested geckos, you start to not necessarily eliminate lower end, but you have fewer and fewer lower end crested geckos, whether it be color, whether it be structure, across the board. Therefore, you're raising the level of crested gecko standards that you're actually working with.
Yep. Travis, you of course you can share your Instagram page name.
Absolutely.
100%. If you guys have Instagram pages, you want to share it in the comments of the chat,
please do.
By all means. There's more room than
absolutely.
I saw a new census. There's 8 billion people on the planet. There's enough for everybody.
Yes.
If we could get 8 billion people involved, like, you know what I'm saying, like that would be awesome.
Right. And that's the whole aspect of why we plug Patreon, and we talk about our Patreon. We run our Patreon commercial all the time. It's not just a plastered everywhere, but we look at it like this: it's marketing and advertisement of our own. Other companies do it all across our YouTube videos when you're watching them as well. Why don't we do it for ourselves? And then that's also an aspect where if you are signed up, like Travis, I'm sure he's
Travis,
sure.
Anthony, and
We have so many people that signed up where we give you a different look, and we got more videos and more content that's rolling out literally in the weeks to come, where it gives you a better look at the business side of things, business structure. We talk about LLCs and S corps and different business decisions, and just kind of gives you a little school of thought of which way to go with certain situations.
Yes. Hi, Anne. Thanks for popping in.
Yes,
and
yes,
I've seen
yes.
a couple of actual questions about illnesses or defects of Cresties, like an actual video
Mhm.
going forward. We can do that. That can be something that we can put on the list of things to do. It's hilarious because we're like, oh, put that on the list. Okay, put that on the list.
Right.
Okay, put that on
And
the
you're
list.
all over the place.
And then I'm like, where'd my lists go?
Yeah.
I don't even know where I put them. But yeah, so we're definitely, absolutely, that's something that we can definitely do. But yes, Frank is saying some of the defects. He knows those like mouth rot, floppy tail, polydactyl, like the little digits. So yeah, there are a lot of different things. There are some things like that are kind of sleeper style
Right.
things, such as like respiratory issues and things like that. But yeah, we can do a whole full video on that.
And Slugger City is over on Instagram. You guys over on Instagram, pop over to YouTube, give us a follow, and check in with us.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
They said basically that they love our energy and vibes that we bring, to the hobby and how we structure our business. We really appreciate our that comment because we pride ourselves on that.
We try very hard.
We try to be nothing but positivity in this hobby, in this world. It's so easy to become negative with some of the obstacles you
It
face.
is, even when you put my vocal style, my white girl rhythm all over the World Wide Web.
I told her, I said, look, I'm doing the edit. You're going to get this one.
I'm gonna share. I'm gonna have to share the TikTok on Instagram, and you're gonna have to see that one. This is where that came from. That's where that came from. Darren can vouch for me because he follows our TikTok.
Oh my
god. So would love to get recommendations on what you put in a Cresty emergency kit, like home remedies until you can get to the vet. Okay, absolutely, we can do some of that. MBD, especially, it's a very sad thing to see. But yeah, we can put together all that and
absolutely
and do a full scale video on that. That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Because we've had some, a few issues before, like we've talked about on the live last week, we've had in all of our geckos that we've had and bred and stuff has been 2 that were prolapse. And there's some home remedies that you can do kind of with that to try to save it until you get to a vet, or to see if it will naturally help itself deal with it. Let's see. MBD is sad. We have a Halloween we did as a rescue and she has it in her hips. Let's see. Can you talk about Panicure for worms?
Don't know too much about it, honestly. We have that as far as for our dogs. We've heard as far as it being effective with snakes as well as geckos. As far as us being educated on utilizing that with our crested geckos, we're not educated on that yet.
We don't really use that on our crested geckos, not as of yet. No. We do have some more questions here. Let's see. The best way to start breeding crested geckos. Best way to start is to enjoy the hobby.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't complicate things. Yeah. Buy something you enjoy, you like, and work with it.
Exactly. Do you ever need volunteers to help out? Would love to learn hands-on from you. I guess we employ our kids. So they're like our little volunteers. They're our child labor.
Right. But
maybe one day.
Yeah, we probably will. But until then, we'll probably actually put more content than what we've even already put out on Patreon. And do kind of
really where it's at.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do more personalized stuff, even from simple to more complex, which is not very much that's complex about these animals.
No, not too much.
No,
there's really not. Have you ever had a gecko give 2 clutches in 1 month? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I actually have had.
I actually 3-week difference, but yes.
Oh, what was it? I saw it the other day. God, who was it? There was one of our females that actually gave us 2 clutches within 45 days. I think it was. It was like pretty much 30 days, and then 15 days later, she gave us another one. Let's see. How many do you have? Oof.
We're probably undercounting, but it's probably about 2,400 right now.
Your cheapest versus your most expensive pair or trio.
Pair?
Yeah. I would say probably our any of our Xanthics.
Oh
So
yeah, that's
it'd be like
something.
Pandemic, which is 100% het for Xanthic, but he's our lily white.
Pandemic, we purchased him pretty much as a breeder size,
Yeah.
or right there at it coming into his first season. He was, I want to say, somewhere around the
That's what I was thinking.
$18,000 mark.
Yeah.
And then we also, it's not really a pair because we already
had Eclipse.
But we got Gotti, which is also a bigger juvenile male.
Yes.
And he was also up there in the area of the 20,000.
Yeah, because he was a lot larger.
Yeah. So both those will be our most expensive. Probably, honestly, our least expensive, we probably don't even have them anymore. I would say that would be, I know we don't have them anymore. It's how we got started, actually. Walked into Petco and purchased 4 crested geckos.
4 kids?
For our
4
kids.
geckos.
And, you know, everyone kind of knows that story. Everything they tell you at Petco was wrong after doing the research. And here it is 6 years later, we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah. Do you have any females that lay single egg clutches? Yes. We have our 1 egg wonders. Prima Donna is a 1 egg wonder.
Prima Donna.
Let's see, who else is a 1 egg wonder? I think Moscow's been a 1 egg wonder.
She just laid 2.
Did she lay 2? Okay. Because I know one of her clutches.
And if you guys are wondering how in the world we even remember this, our breeders. So our breeders, on the other hand, we have that many geckos, but we have a lot that we're growing out. We tend to don't sell them super young. Breeder wise, I would say we're up to upper 3, maybe 300, maybe 3 1/4 or something like that. So if they make it into the breeder ranks, then they get a name. We choose a name, a really cool name. Often I get to choose, but they get a name, and then that's how we catalog our inventory. So we used to do like person issues of male, female, and then now that stuff kind of got complicated. So now we do a grow out system, number system, where we can use the same male and female name 100 times if we needed to, but it would end up having a different logging system number. So it really works.
What is the oldest gecko in your care? What gecko has the oddest pattern? I couldn't tell you what the oldest gecko is.
Yeah.
Just because there were times where, we purchased up geckos that came from, like, for instance, like altitude. I mean, like, just hatch dates weren't necessarily, given or whatever. So, like, you never really know. But as long as they're in healthy, good shape,
I will go as far as to say none of our geckos are probably over 10 years old.
No, I wouldn't say that.
You guys got to know that we've been doing this for 6 years now.
Yeah,
so
6 years.
And the whole first year was literally no sales at all. It was just collecting and building our collection and having fun. It has to be fun for you guys.
Yeah.
It definitely has to be fun.
Most of our animals too that we purchased were more along the lines of like 21, 22 grams. So when you're thinking 21, 22 grams,
they were hatched well within that year or so,
or the last year or whatnot.
And then we also went a different route the way we made some of our acquisitions. So a lot of you guys are trying to figure out how do you get those game-changing geckos for your programs. Sometimes you have to go out on a limb. And that's why when we respond, when people are like, oh my God, we can't believe you guys invested so much into this business, but the business actually takes care of itself in a sense, because it's like, okay, you see someone that's constantly posting your favorite gecko, you know that it's not for sale. But that's the gecko you've always wanted. You go, you buy offspring from that breeder, and you get a wild bug and says, you know what, let me contact them. So you contact me, you say, hey, I know your gecko isn't for sale, but I live and breathe for this gecko. would you entertain $5,000 or whatever? And then I'm just throwing stuff out there, and that breeder's like, what? Yeah. And all of a sudden, the not for sale gecko is sold. And that's how a lot of deals are ended up being made. That's why I always tell people in the earlier stages, if you are able to get your hands on younger geckos that's coming from lines that you're stalking, you need to go ahead and jump on it before
Absolutely.
that gecko turns into a pry from my cold dead hands gecko.
Yes. Yes.
And then that's when you run into those issues where you're paying. Actually, I think Brian had an issue like that.
Yes, he did.
Where he I could be wrong, but I think it's Timeless Exotics. Napalm. Oh my God, love that gecko. And he sold that gecko, and
then he had to
buy it back for like 10 times so it happens. It happens.
Yes, it
But
does.
that's why it's on us to try to get in front of that and make sure that doesn't happen to us.
What age you retire your girls and boys? Well, we're in at 6 years, so we hadn't reached it yet. So that's something that we'll, once we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. Yes, very good question.
But we monitor them, all the time. We check their weights. The way we do our breedings, we do 1-to-1, so we're constantly moving our males along after our females lay eggs. We check their body structure, make sure they don't have any stuck eggs, make sure their body health is good before they even continue on into the breeding season.
Will you ever do a video of how you keep them walk through? I actually have. I've had a snapshot of when we did the Cat Williams thing. So you see our rack, our 6 quart, you see our hatchling
we have
racks.
6 quarts, we have hatchlings,
then we have
25
PVC
quarts,
enclosures.
we have 15 quarts.
We
have different staging systems. So from hatch all the way to full size, they're probably moved a good 4 times.
Yeah, and we've actually just ordered some new racks to come in, so we're excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Do you guys have a couple favorite geckos you can name without thinking about it too much? Absolutely. Tons. I know it's funny because we know every single name of our breeders.
Absolutely.
We know them, and we can sit here and visualize them in our head like we just know them. I don't know how we know them, but I
think it gets to a point, it's just like cars and people. It's like, oh, what this car looks like when it drives by you, or relatives and stuff like that.
Our kids,
I kind of reference it to that.
Yeah, they know these Pokemons, they know their backstories and all that kind of stuff.
And you get to start holding them back that way as well. You start seeing something in a gecko, like, all right, this is going to be the next holdback, and then you put a name on it, and then it's pretty much cemented into concrete.
Lukey says his faves are the reptile, or the geckos. His snakes are the second. Let's see. I think they're fun too. Ever had a female gecko that can't breed whatsoever? No, we haven't experienced that yet.
No.
What does your cleaning routine look like? How often do you clean
every
tubs?
Week. Oh my goodness.
Every week. We have like a little vacuum.
Clean, but we have a vacuum
that goes out like organic materials and like leftover cricket or whatever. We'll do that every time we feed. Pretty much is just go through with that as we feed.
And if we have geckos that have like complete blowouts, then we literally just change out the entire enclosure.
I have one girl that is just a nasty freaking mess all the freaking time. I'm like, listen here, Harley Quinn, like you got to stop with the mess. She will just crap all over the sides of the walls, all in her ball, everywhere. And it's every single stinking week. I'm like, there's no way you have that much poop in your body. But she does. And it's just... she just better be glad she's pretty.
Steph's Geckos mentioned that they have a lily white and red Harlequin, that they're sure that it's not going to become good quality, and they're looking to probably move forward. Yes, if you end up having a crested gecko where it's not progressing in the direction you want it to progress in, and you want to become a breeder, I wouldn't breed. We wouldn't breed a gecko with lower than subpar structure at this stage. We wouldn't promote breeding any sick geckos whatsoever.
No.
There is a hobby. There is an area, not hobby, an area where it's perfectly fine to breed structurally sound, healthy animals that aren't necessarily gonna be $3,000 and $4,000 animals. There's nothing wrong with it. If you want to keep it at a hobby level, there's nothing wrong with doing that.
No. Melissa, a Patreon member. Hey, Melissa.
Hey, what's
We
going
hope you're
on?
enjoying being a Patreon member.
Absolutely.
Hey, the Gecko Club. Again, we've got this on Instagram so that we
We're
can
trying
get
to
you guys to come
push
on
them
over
on
here to
over.
YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as far as chemicals that we use, what's this stuff called? Little squeezy thing, and we pour it in, and then we mix the water. What's it called?
F10.
F10. That's it. Oh, I can
Cleaning
never
spray.
remember that.
It's like safe on all
Yeah.
reptiles
Yep.
and
So we use that.
animals.
I also use that's my final stage of where I clean, because I will clean everything out as far as anything that's left that we don't get with the little vacuums.
Mm-hmm.
Do a little hot water, soapy water bath with the enclosure that we have, like the tub systems that we have, and then I'll clean them out with a sanitizer that I use from Melaleuca, which is it's all, I think it's like vegan and such. It's non-toxic,
plant-based.
Yes, and so then on top of that, that's when I go in and kind of go down with that reptile safe, the F10. Yeah, so those are the chemicals I use. Do you let your geckos cool down?
We're actually going to try that
Yeah.
this year for the first time. Being that, as crazy as it sounds, guys, it hasn't even been a full year that we've had our facility.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool too. So this year, we made a smart facility, and we can kind of control the humidity, whether we want to raise it or lower it, the temperatures as well for the entire facility. So we're going to drop it a bit.
They're talking about temperature, or are you talking about like cool down period, like meaning taking your males out and letting them not breeding all year long? Because there's some people that I've heard along the board where they just leave them in constantly, but we don't do that. We have a very clear kind of season.
Our system is a little bit more extensive than that. Yeah. We do 1-to-1 breeding. To run it real quick, if you have 3 females to 1 male, you got female 1, that male gets weighed, put with female 1 for a week. The next week on the same day, we take the male out, we weigh them, we put them in with female 2, take them out the following week, weigh them, put them with female 3. And after female 3, we take them out, weigh them, and put them back with female 1. We continue that cycle for weeks on weeks on weeks, making sure that our males either keep and maintain weight or continue to gain weight, and until one of those females start producing fertile eggs. Once they start producing fertile eggs, we start skipping that female until his entire selection for that season is laying fertile eggs, and then he's done for the season. He kicks back and chills.
So there's hopefully that answers both sides of cool down. We have a Patreon member, Slugger City Reptiles is Patreon. That's Dylan. Okay, cool, awesome, thank you.
Yes, entertainment is half the fun.
And then we've got our other Melissa. She's saying she's seeing more MD and geckos recently, metabolic bone disease. I haven't really seen that as much.
No.
I think it's just.
But again, you have to research some things, and maybe it could be the feeding practice. It could be the amount of bugs they're getting, or if they're not getting any bugs at all. Yeah. It could be if you're using calcium with D3 or without D3. It could be a number of things.
There's another Melissa saying, "What's your thoughts on feeding live bugs to hatchlings? Is there a risk?"
I don't see any risk at all.
Because we get the very small.
We get the very small. So we had, and that was a whole meaning on getting that first stop of hatchling. So we have the JPM Reptilia rack system for fresh hatchlings, and they stay in there to about, I don't know, 8-9 grams, maybe 10 grams, until then we move them up to a 6-quart tub. But while they're in there, if they're in that rack, they will get presented with a 3/8 inch or half-inch cricket on cricket day. And we've offered crickets literally up to 2 days, 3 days old. Some take them, some do not. But there's not been any issues as far as them being harmed in that process.
That's the thing about the hatchling racks, is that it really truthfully allows us to watch them so closely during those first pivotal weeks of life.
Yep.
And I think that starting off, I mean, if you think about babies, you start them off well, you raise your child well, then chances are, hopefully, they'll function into, or they'll grow into functioning adults. So it's kind of the same kind of concept. Okay, so my question is similar to Doolittle. Have you ever had a male or a female that refuses to breed no matter what time of year you attempt to pair it? So no, not across the board, but I did pair one pairing 2 years ago was Yoshi and Ash.
Mhm.
Was it Yoshi and Ash? I think it was Yoshi and Ash, and he just did not like her that year for some reason or another. It was the first year that I paired them together, and it was like, I don't know, they just didn't get along.
I don't know. I don't know. I see a little difference sometimes. I think it's gonna be more female, depending on your situation and setup. It's gonna be probably more female driven.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Oh, is it?
It's gonna be.
Is that what it is?
That the male is always gonna do his deed. Always. So.
Okay.
But guys, what I'm getting at is. I think what ends up happening is sometimes you have females that just don't go a season, and they just kind of wait and either go the following season, or they just refuse to lay any eggs for you that season. So it's kind of a filling out process. Again, we're still at the earlier stages. We don't really have any females, I could say, that are in our breeder ranks that don't lay, period, for us. So we haven't ran into that issue quite yet.
See, what vacuum is that on the Amazon specials? One of them was crap, and one of them is like a little handheld thing that's like sits on top of the desk. Sorry, you can't see my hand, but it sits on top of the desk and it sucks up pretty good. But
the other one is
the other one's great.
You have to charge it with a powerful charger.
With a powerful charger, it just is like
it only lasts 25 minutes, so
I'm
you
like,
might want to get
this does not help me.
3 or 4 of them at least,
yeah,
so you can use one and charge one at the same time.
It was relatively inexpensive, so I think it was like $12 or something like that. So I can't expect much out of it, but
the best route is get you a nice little compact shop vac and with the nozzle extension and go to work on it.
Leechies really love to spray that poop. Listen. Me and Leechies are monsters. Are on a whole different. Like, I just do not get along with my Leechies. Like, especially that one. Man, he is just horrible. He is just a.
I don't know. You guys may see some Leechies for sale.
You may see some
Black Friday. We will see.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. You guys have a hookup for the F10 these days. I don't know where did you get that?
Amazon. Amazon has an amazing sale price on them.
Do you miss not having all those animals in your home? Absolutely not.
But I will say, I probably would say yes to that. Probably, if we went, we had thought about going a different route when we built the facility. We thought about getting a piece of property, or renting like a commercial piece of property and going that route. And I will sit here and tell you, if we did that, that would have been our that would have been our downfall. For us, we're having so many animals that we care for, and we go and we look at and hang down there so much and put so much time in. It will be literally miserable to even travel 20 minutes away to our facility, because we're down there oftentimes at 3 a.m, 4 a.m.
I've been in there all night. He came back. He left. And then came back down there, and I was still down there at like 5:30 in the morning. I had been up for like 24 hours,
just doing the cleaning and doing the behind the scenes thing. So even if it's like a 20-minute drive there, we think about it like that, and then it's like, oh, that's not that big of a deal. It is, because you may have to go feed, or you may have forgotten something in the facility, and you got to drive 20 minutes there, do whatever you're doing, drive 20 minutes home.
I forgot my AirPods the other night.
Yeah.
Hey, Nettle and Creek Reptiles, we see you out there with your Xanthics.
Yes. Beautiful job, you guys.
Again, if you don't know, we're over here on YouTube too, so please come follow us on YouTube. We love doing this on YouTube.
Charlene's Cresty says temperatures play a big role in MBD. That's new information. I never knew that. We never knew that. Our temps range legitimately from 74 to 78 degrees. Sometimes they'll get up, very rarely, to 80, but that's pretty much where it kind of holds. And then we'll do 65% humidity 3 days on, and then we'll dry it out completely for 2 days. And we do that cycle, that 5 day cycle, back and forth, and we haven't had too many issues with shedding issues whatsoever. But as far as temperature relating to MBD, that's new information to me. What temps, if you're still on, what temps are you finding is affecting your crested geckos? And someone's asking an opinion on UVB. So UVB for us is amazing. We love it, but I'm going to tell you why we love it. We do not use it in our gecko enclosures. But if you guys are checking out any of our pictures or videos and stuff where you see with our geckos, our little trick that we do is we have a UVB light where we'll put them into deli cups. And before, where we had to find a large box and put 10 or 15 geckos into that box, spray them and put them in the dark, we no longer have to do that. We haven't had to do that for years. We actually spray them to fire them up for pictures. Now we just put them in a deli cup, spray them. We can stack them 25, 50 geckos in a group, put them under UVB, and 5 minutes later, they're showing their best colors. We love it. So we love UVB, and we use UVB for that.
Yes. Let's see. What's the best time of year to breed them?
I think it depends upon you. Yeah. I think everyone has a different schedule they go by.
Some start in February, March. Mm-hmm. Some start in April.
You can kind of start whenever you want. There's really no set, I guess, guideline to go by. What we do, we typically start our pairings in mid-February, into February. But this past year, we actually started late with us working ourselves. Audra was, she doesn't work as diligently, as I do. So when we were in the facility, I had to pick up a lot of slack, where,
Sorry, it was a bug in his beard, y'all.
So we got started on our pairings very late this year.
Got you.
Matt Cresteds, what's going on?
Let's see. I had a male that refused to pair with one of my sweet females. Is he just rare? I don't know.
Now, what I would say, it depends.
What are your
parameters? What's your setups? Because I can tell you, our first year of breeding, we had some issues, and I'm happy to say we don't have any issues anymore. The issue we were having, we were legitimately putting together an empty tub with, maybe paper towel, and then we would introduce 2 geckos into that tub, put them in the dark, send them off to the sides, and that was the worst thing we've ever done for breeding. So taking them out of their norm and putting them together, that was the worst thing ever we did for breeding. Acetone came from you. Thank you. I'm happy you're loving her. That's awesome.
It's awesome. And it was like when I first started watching them breed, like trying to put them together. When I put them in the tubs and stuff, I'd watch them, like my eyes would get real big and like, okay, I think it's going in, and I'm like, this is like gecko. Like I don't want to say it because I don't want to get like filtered or whatever, but it's like I don't feel comfortable. I feel like I'm like sitting here watching an assault take place.
Yeti Gex asked a question that I'm not too familiar with. So if you guys if you know what they're talking about, or if you can kind of rephrase it in a way that we understand, let us know. They said, do you think UVB is responsible for the firing to burn out? I'm not too sure what that actually means, but if you guys know or had dealt with an issue like that, let us know.
Yeah, what he's talking about, or she. Let's see. Are y'all on substrate or paper towels on your adults and why?
No substrate.
No substrate, no paper towels. Actually, we use craft paper. Craft paper tends to stay good and flat, which means when those crickets are plopping around in places, when the gecko goes to grab it, because they're half of a brain cell for eating, tends to grab whatever is there. The paper towel won't get up in their mouth. The craft paper stays good and solid. It also, when they drip water on it and things like that, it dries up like real quick.
Right. So that's a major cheat code.
Yeah.
You don't have that paper towel frizz, or frazzle on it where they go and jump at the cricket and they're sitting there fighting with the paper towel. It pretty much eliminates that. So we love that, and that's why we use strictly craft paper and utilize our paper towels now for cleaning more than just substrate.
So we don't have stock in paper towels.
Exactly. Max Cressa said their hat they got from us a few years back is looking awesome. We appreciate that. That's awesome. We would love to see. Hey, we love it when you guys send us updated pictures and follow up and tag us and stuff. We love it.
We love it. I never can tell. I'm like, is that ours? I don't know.
Juan, what's going on, Juan?
Lychees stink. Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. And they bite and they hiss and they like try to kill
Travis says, wait, y'all have lychees? Yes, we have lychees. We have gargs. We're getting into chewies.
Some really nice gargs.
Yes, we have quite a few lychees and quite a few gargs. We do things kind of different. We beat our own drum. We kind of build our supply and make our acquisitions behind the scenes, and then all of a sudden jump out there. You're like, wow, we never knew you even were into it. But we may get out of the lychees. I don't know. We'll see, and dig deeper into chewies.
Chewies, I like the chewies. Let's see what localities have South New Caledonia right now, and then we have ball pythons. But...
What are you talking about? No, they're asking what localities. So we have
you're talking
GT,
about GT,
Nuami. I can never say that word. It'll pop in my head.
Somebody say it.
Yeah, I can never. We have a good 4 different localities that we're working with. As far as the lychees.
What's your thoughts on male breeders that's not too experienced? Have one that bites the female's pants. Oh, should I just let them be or take him out?
I would let them be unless it's causing injury to your female. And also, how are you figuring this out? Are you, kind of sneaking around to see what's going on, or are you just like literally standing there while everything is happening? That can also cause some issues as well if you're kind of like just looming over them, watching them. So that's what I was getting to. Our first season, we did that. We did not have very much success with our entire breeding season. We had some go, some were just like horrible. We were doing our 1-to-1 pairings, but most of our breeders did not pair, did not even make attempts to pair. It wasn't until our second season where we're like, hey, we got to do this a different type of way. Our breeding nights where we would do our pairings, mind you, there was no cleaning, there was no feeding, there was nothing. We were literally working with our geckos and doing just pairings where we would separate them out of their enclosures and put them together. And we probably were doing like 30 pairings, and it would take us like 6 hours. It was something ridiculous. So we don't do that anymore. Now it's once we, we'll basically introduce our male into our female's enclosure and leave them be for a week. Let them do their thing. We'll check on them, making sure that they're okay, no one's hurt, but we leave them be for a week. So we never even see, how you say that, copulation? We never even see it. Yeah, we never even see it happen. We just end up with fertile eggs.
Yeah, we used to though. It was like, dang, he missed. Limey, look at Limey. That's what I was laughing about. Limey's over here talking about how sexy we are.
Yeah, Limey.
The males need to be fluffed to something. Males need to be fluffed to get him to get him in there. Well, just for example, with inexperienced males, the first year we imported from Lily Exotics, we imported Ghost. Ghost is one of our main Lily breeders, and his first year he had no clue where to put it. I'm gonna tell you, he had no clue what to do. He would look at me like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know what I'm doing. And now he's a powerhouse breeder. So it just sometimes it takes a year, sometimes it takes 2 years. So
definitely
just let them do it at their own pace. Let's see. I can see temps playing a role, especially in young ones, as it affects calcium absorption. Let's see. Oh, throwing you under the bus. Yeah. They saw the evil eye. Let's see. He said we'll sleep in the gecko shed tonight. Hey, it's nice down there. We got a couch and a TV. Yeah. It'll be all right. Let's see. Craft paper is smart.
I think Will would be a great fluffer. Only for you, Limey.
Mhm. Let's see. Paper towels are expensive, and that craft
Yes.
paper is a lot.
It lasts a
Yeah,
very long
it's a
time.
lot. It's big rolls. Let's see. Love chewies. What about your dactylodes or cerasinorum?
Thank you. You said that because that
I
wasn't gonna
know.
work.
I always pick at him because the way he says
Bryce,
Xanthics.
we haven't worked with them yet. I know actually AJ works with them, and we were actually talking about them at the last show, but we haven't worked with them yet.
No.
We're kind of into the striking colors and different patterns, so we just haven't reached out to that species, those species yet.
I think we've had a couple of comments about hybrids. We're not planning on doing gecko hybrids.
Yeah, no. He says, please keep going with the lychees. I hear Frank.
Listen. We don't have to get gloves to deal with that one. Woo, he's
El
mean.
Chapo.
El Chapo. And it's
fluff.
Hey,
fluff,
Viberia,
Limey, fluff,
we see
fluff,
you.
fluff.
And you said Celtic reptiles. I called him Celtic. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong.
Yeah, Celtic
I think of those
reptiles.
little
Definitely
Celtic
check him out.
You know.
Richard.
Let's see. Those first year breeders can be slow on the uptake. That second season is like magic. Absolutely. That's coming from Tom.
Yep.
I'm going to show that comment there. So ever thought about keeping chameleon geckos?
Geckos? No.
Chameleon geckos? No.
No.
I haven't. We wanted to do chameleons.
Chameleons, yeah. Like, I haven't even seen the chameleon geckos yet.
Yeah.
We're still deep diving in crescent geckos.
I've seen them, but I don't get it. Muzzle them. Ricky says muzzle. Listen, it would take an act of the Lord Jesus to even put a muzzle on El Chapo's snout. Like, oh my gosh, he's so mean.
Darren is being funny, guys. He's getting into tokay breeding, and he can have it. Okay, it's not happening. I did see a pretty cool pie tokay. But yeah, he can have it. What's another question from what's name?
Okay, yeah.
We got a lot of questions tonight.
Let's see. Not a cool question, but recommendations for lights in a windowless room. I'll let him answer that one.
I don't know. I mean, I think it depends on what you're going for. If you're going to be taking pictures inside as well. I think even for our facility, I think our lighting is amazing. But if it's for pictures, it's not the greatest for pictures or video. But when you're in there, it's very easy on your eyes. They're LEDs, so they're not really putting off that much heat. So it depends on your situation and what you're going to put up. But I would definitely say probably some type of a daylight color temperature and not the, what do they call it, incandescent light temps.
So we have another question. What are our thoughts on Halloween?
I like them.
Yeah, I think there's an old school thought, and then there's a new school thought, or there's an original thought, and then
I like Halloweens. Yeah. They're not at the, I guess, the top of my.
They're not at the top of this list. I think they're very nice. Yes,
I think they're not. I would definitely, if we had a choice of starting a program with them, I would start another tiger program before I started a Halloween program. They will fall further down my list.
He really has always liked tigers. Always. Hey, Seraphic. She's so funny on her TikToks. Lord have mercy. She's hilarious. I love it.
You missed it, Limey. I flexed on the last live. You can't have another flex on this live.
I can't believe he flexed. He actually flexed, y'all. He flexed. If you weren't here, he flexed. Oh my goodness. What should someone do research or prep wise before getting into the business hobby? And actually, Dylan actually has sort of asked the same question. If you were shark breeding all over today, what's one of the main things you would do now that you didn't know when you started? It depends, because if we were going to do what we're doing right now, like, because there's hobby obviously and there's business, and then there's some hybrid in between. If we were planning to go full scale business, I would have definitely tried to maybe invest in the higher end projects that we like faster, I guess.
Let me explain what she's trying to say, because I know we've had this conversation back and forth. Yeah. The shoulda, woulda, couldas. I think we did things to the best of our capabilities as far as building the business. But knowing what we know now, it's going to be probably a shock. We go into a little bit of it on Patreon, but if we knew everything we know now, we would have literally dumped everything we had into the business. Bottom
We
line.
held back and hesitated on
Um,
some things to
and
begin
and
with.
I'm gonna tell you guys, and I'm not. And listen, it's it's a lot of different variables involved in everyone's situation, but I'm gonna throw something out there that we touch on, like I said, in Patreon. In a situation, where you're a businessman, we have, a couple businesses and doing different things. If you have accumulated some type of, not necessarily wealth, but some type of every day, every month savings, where you have $10,000 put into the bank, where you don't do anything with it, it's your nest egg. Okay. You're still making money, you're still working, you're in the world. That being said, over the course of a year or so, you have it in, some type of savings account over a year. Okay, wow, they give you $125 for playing. The bank played with your $10,000 and made a crap ton of money and gave you $125 for doing so. Um, that's what we're taught to be the norm across the board. And this can go not only for Crested Geckos, it could be other investments, whether it's real estate or other businesses. So knowing what we know now, yeah, no, definitely not doing that. I wouldn't say just go broke overdoing it. You need to take care of your responsibilities and make educated decisions. But you're talking about dealing with animals where there's a lot of risk, but there's also a lot of reward as far as what the animals give back to you, the actual enjoyment and care for the animals, and especially if you have the knowledge at that time. We lacked the knowledge at the beginning, but we went out and
And
found
got it.
the information. We still don't know everything,
No.
but that being said, I say that to say this. Why, and say his antics, prime example, they're going through the roof. We can't hatch them out fast enough. No one can. But that being said, it's all where you always question yourself. There is no other hobby or businesses out there, where snakes or geckos, where you're able to do some of the things, we're doing or other breeders are doing.
Mm-hmm.
What do I mean by that? I mean, hey, you have a project where it's $10,000 for a gecko or a snake, and you know what you're doing. You get that animal, you work with that animal, and next thing you know, even if it's a recessive and you have no other recessives and you breed it to non-recessives, and guess what? 2 years later, 3 years later, that 10 grand is still invested into that animal or said projects, and you produce all hets. And if you're dealing with crested geckos, you got anywhere from 8 to 12 babies on the ground. If it's a female, if it's a male, more than that. And your hets may be going for, I don't know, $2,000-$3,000 a piece. And the same thing corresponds over into the snake world. So what did you do in the 3 year span where you left $10,000 in the bank and you made, $375 off of your investment while the banks made a ton of money off of you? You still have that 10 grand in hand versus investing it in a business or your hobby, which is the geckos or the snakes, and you turn around and make maybe $20,000 or $30,000. I don't know. So us looking at it like that and seeing it full circle and it happened for us, that's what we would change
Yeah, and
about it.
and like a lot of people, they hear the dollar signs, they see the dollar signs, and they automatically have a bad taste in their mouth about it. But it's not about dollar signs for us. More so,
No.
as it's about freedom.
Yes.
And that is the biggest
Enjoyment.
enjoyment, because we've done it. We've
Right.
literally been the hamsters on the hamster wheel,
Yes.
turning and turning and turning and turning and never getting anywhere.
And we're not gonna hold you guys too long. We
No.
just saw that it's over an hour.
We've been
But you
over
talk
an
about
hour.
freedom. This is what we're talking
But this
about.
is what we're talking about.
This is fun. We love doing this.
Like, it's 10:24, and a year and a half ago, I would be out on the streets dealing with hurricane weather, possibly in a fight with somebody or taking somebody to jail, or, possibly not coming home to my family. And now I'm sitting here getting to talk and enjoy this life that we're able to build through this freedom, through doing it correctly, through doing it the right way. We're not jumping in for fast money. We're jumping in and for longevity, to be around, to create better animals, to create better to create it better all over. Yes. The hobby in general, to show other people that freedom is possible. Happiness is possible.
Right. And we want to be
So,
that measure. You want to be that tape measure or the bar. That's what you would like to be. That's what we strive to be. We want to improve the whole hobby. Steph's Gecko asks, how do you get your business to get out there better, and like what worked well for us? Just strategically marketing, advertisement. Again, we go into that on Patreon. It's very interesting because that's the aspect where we're both, you know, well invested into that knowledge on it, but just really pounding, the really kind of just blanket statement answers for that. Pounding social media, um, every social media. You can't be anti-social media. You can't not like Instagram or not like Facebook. Whatever is accessible for you, you need to utilize it to the best of your ability. And we put it out there before. What does that mean? It means, guess what? You're trying to get the business out there. You need to go from a hobby mindset into a business mindset. That means we've had our talks. I love her to death. But at the end of the day, we sat down and had a full-blown conversation.
oh, wait, let me preface this by saying when he says I love her to death, that usually means he's going to insult me somehow.
No, not at all. Not at all. But what I mean by that is, when you're into business, no one cares about your personal life.
No.
And I know people are going to chime in. Well, I care. I get that. You have individuals that care, but the gist of success, no one cares about your personal life. So how does that correspond in the business? It means if we're going through something in our personal life, no one cares. They need to see Geckos that day. If we're going through an argument, no one cares. They need to see Geckos that day. If we're not getting along and the business isn't going well, or you're not, doesn't matter. They need to see Geckos that day. You got to put yourself on a strict schedule where it cannot be altered. If you're going to be on a program where you're going to post pictures every single day for a whole year, you need to have 365 pictures at the end of that year, every single day, regardless of what's going on in your life. That's just a business aspect of it. So basically what you're doing is every time you turn around, you see people are jumping up there, either liking, and you're gaining some traction. And at some point, you're going to start getting contacted by people saying, you guys have awesome animals. We love what you're doing. Your positivity, your vibes, what you're doing for the hobby is so encouraging. We want to do that as well. And then they're going to ask you the same thing. How do we get to that point?
It's a mission and it's a vision and it's a movement. So, and that's the thing, like you got to be authentic about it. It's got to come from your heart and your mind, where your mind and your heart connect. It can't just be, oh, I'm a mastermind and I'm going to create this huge business. No, it has to be from inside.
For example, if you guys don't know Limey, go over to Instagram and follow Limey. He will insult you to know tomorrow.
That's how you know he loves you.
Yes, he is an old timer. He's a little senile. He's losing his vision. He has like one good leg. He walks with a limp, but he's really good people. He's cool. But he even said, screw that. He said, if you have a talent, put your money in reptiles. It's hard work, but worth your while. And the thing about that is that man's probably been doing this for 40 years. In the ball python game. So he's tried and true. All the big names know about him, the Canovas, the Ozzies, the Brian Barcheks. Everyone you speak to know about Limey and know who Limey is. And he's still in this hype, in this hobby and in this industry, and still making amazing looking snakes and beautiful snakes.
Gorgeous snakes. But it's just like, just a quick, the Vero, we actually just signed up for Vero. There's nothing on there just yet, but yeah, we did.
We just signed up. We're trying to do everything.
Trying to cover all of our bases.
Definitely. Juan, he said, when you do what you love, yes,
you don't work a day in your life.
That's
absolutely.
Accurate. And that was the whole point. So being in law enforcement and being on the streets, working those long hours and putting your life on the line, at the end of the day, at any given moment, yes, you're doing a good deed, but you also need to do a service to your family as well. So I find that working with the animals, loving these guys, it brings us so much closer. And this is what we truly want to do.
So Rafik says she loves being her own boss.
Absolutely.
And Limey, of course, he has to say he's out in the streets. He knows exactly what he means. It's funny because people laugh at us when we say, being on the street, like, because that's a cop thing, like you're a block or you're a street cop or you're on your block or you're a beat cop. He says
he's the street life.
He's the street life. So Limey knows street life. Okay. let's see, you should have your kids do this. They're so much more likable than you.
Oh man, keep the insults coming. You know what? We're working with them. You know, one of them, they're just full blown into the reptile. So we got him one over, and he's loving it.
Yes. Yeah, I've got TikTok. TikTok is hard. TikTok
Yeah,
is very hard because I'm old. And
she's very old. Yeah,
you want to keep your beard, don't you?
I'm just agreeing with what you said. There was actually so there's another question
Yes.
they asked how many yeah. Are they are we doing any ball
Are your
python
ball pythons
pairings?
paired yet?
So we're doing something very against the grain, I guess you could say. We have another business, so it's Flawless Exotic
Exotic
Creation.
Creations.
So if you guys give us a follow over there, that's cool as well.
That's another YouTube.
That's another YouTube. That's another Instagram. That's another Facebook. When you talk about business structuring and building, you know, if you guys want to watch us do it, we're doing it with that business as well. Crested Geckos allowed us to get into ball pythons. And over the course of now, not being 10 months, but the last 11 months, we've invested $175,000 into the ball python industry and hobby. So
I feel like St. Vincent.
Yeah. So that's the angle we're going with. We're trying to work with some amazing genes and genetics. We have some limey snakes, some snakes from limey that are gonna implement some great projects with monsoon for us. Which is a new gene, but we also have Stranger, which is another newer gene, Ultramel. So we have a lot of things going on over there. So when you ask what would we do differently, we actually have already looked and asked ourselves that, and we've taken that approach in a different business, a new business with the ball pythons. So people always ask me, like, "Oh my God, there's no way we would do that." We don't have a problem doing that. So you're sitting like, what? You invested $175,000 into a business within the last year? Yep. And we won't make a dime for another. Well, we'll make some money this year, but nowhere near $175,000. But the thing is, when you structure your business and you build your business plan and you stick with it, I have no doubts in my mind with what we will continue to purchase and acquire that we will make all of that back and more within the next 2 to 3 years. So not worried about it at all.
Well, when you've got a tried and true business system that works, it's going to work, and you don't ever put into the atmosphere, oh, this might fail, because you're setting yourself up for failure. When you put into the atmosphere, this is going to work. You say to yourself every day, you get up in the morning, thank you, for be grateful for what you have in that day, for that present moment. I know I'm going to win. I'm going to win because I have to win. Because I have kids, because I have responsibilities, because I have dreams, because
Absolutely.
I have goals, because I have ambitions.
And Steph's Geckos, she says she has a YouTube, but not sure how to edit videos, and that she used Facebook as well. So keep doing that, and that goes to also like Sloan Morse. He's been working on upping his game. That man has an amazing ball python and crested gecko collection, and what we're working with him on, I talk to him almost every day, is just getting them in front of the camera for the new age, new generation, not the old guys like Limey. Who are staples in the industry. People already know that man, you know, and he chooses not to entertain new things. You know, you can pick and choose what you want to do. I get that. But when you're trying to break into something that's untapped and unknown to you, you got to kind of get out there in front of the new generation, the new age, because that's what's going to end up being the future. So I say that because, Steph, you need to basically set up camera, keep recording, or cell phone. Don't have to be anything expensive. Use what you have till you can upgrade. And research. If you're on YouTube, get on YouTube and research how to edit. I've went through a couple different programs. I love researching this stuff. I had Adobe Elements. I worked with Adobe Elements for the longest. Audra prefers DaVinci.
DaVinci Resolve.
We got newer brand new MacBooks, and when we chose a program to go back, we wanted to be able to pass a project that we're working on back and forth between each other. Hey, I can't finish this. Hey, take this project and finish it, you know, if it's editing. So the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you're working on the same software. So we decided to go DaVinci. And I learned all the DaVinci stuff, or I still don't know everything, but any questions you have in this day and age, I tell Audra the same thing, and she's kind of mastering that. When you have a question, it sounds crazy. Literally go to YouTube or Google and type your question in, and
there's
videos
like
populate and answer
3,000 people
and
who've
answer
had the same
had those
issues.
problems.
It's like the whole when our Instagram went down, like several of the other ones that he jumped on YouTube and figured it out.
Start contacting them and sending messages, and boom, our account came right back.
So DBCB Exotics over here on YouTube, Steph, he said InShot and KineMaster,
yes,
are great beginner editing apps, and you can use them on their phone. Also, some of the ones that I've used Magisto in the past. I use Pixel Cut. I use VN Editor. I've used what's the other one? Pixlr. I've used several different ones to edit like pictures, and then moved it into VN.
And also something very important for everyone: if you branding is very important. So get with a good artist. They got Emily Burke. You got Noah. Noah's always booked up, but he does amazing work. So go with Noah Bounds,
Absolutely.
Emily Burke,
gorgeous, just so talented.
Who do we?
Supernova, Alexa.
Yes. So you go with any of those. Alexa Jussum is her name.
I think it's Jussum.
Jussum, yeah. So choose one of those guys. Contract their work, get them to work on a logo for you.
I mean, we got them all day long in our inbox, like in our request, saying, "Hey, I make reptile logos."
Yes,
so I'm pretty sure
inboxes all the time.
You can go up in there and find some spammers.
Rolly Boy says he means well. He's an old fart. Limey is an old fart. 400 years.
Nobody actually knows his real age. Yep, that's it. He says, "Love you guys. We love you too." Limey.
Yes.
But yeah, so we've done a lot, but Noah Bounds with Oglana Zoological.
Yes. Let's try to catch up on some.
I don't ever want to say butcher somebody's name wrong, because
everybody knows Noah Bounds. He's been in the industry for a very long time.
Noah Meredith.
We haven't worked with him directly quite yet. I think he has a gecko from us. I think we've messaged several times, so it's mutual respect. Yes, Noah did mine. Yes, Tesla, exactly. He's done a ton of people in the hobby.
Yeah.
You guys gotta show off my
favorite boy. You guys have, which one? Which one? I don't know which one.
Richard, which one? We talk a lot. Richard and I from Celtic Reptiles, we talk a lot. You gotta tell us which one. Try to scroll. We're gonna try to catch up on some of you guys' comments.
I think we've got most.
Yes, I'm hating on her dance moves. Because
he
has.
He does. He hates on my dance.
Wait,
moves.
She has not zero rhythm. I don't want to make it sound that bad, but just like -10 rhythm. Yeah, I'll go with that. And Limey in the flex. Look, if I don't want to flex because I like this shirt. That's
whatever. Oh my gosh, y'all.
Scroll through. Let's see.
That's the bottom.
That's the bottom.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's the bottom.
If you guys have any more questions, Rolly, I have invested 100
in green
and Knolls. See, and that's something I don't know very much about. Green and Knolls.
I don't know very much about that either. Let's see.
Someone asked the other day about giant day geckos. We haven't invested or worked with that project either.
She said, "Grab that beard." I'm going to. That's where I go.
It'll cost her later. She knows better.
No.
Nothing but love for you guys, but you need to flex. I'm flexing. See, I'm fluffy right now.
Fluffy.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever.
T-shirts and stickers. Yes. If you want brands, T-shirts and stickers, it's the easiest thing to do right now. I just
ordered something today.
Okay.
I ordered some stickers. Well, it's not stickers. It's these little acrylic charms from
Thank you so much.
Sticker Mule, I think. But they're going to be our little crested geckos. So get everything you can.
Limey, he's a clown. Oh my gosh. So definitely come up with branding, T-shirts,
happy life. That's exactly right.
T-shirts, merchandising, different merchandising ideals. You want to come up and you want to, reinvent the wheel, come up with a product or service that someone else doesn't offer.
Yeah. So what did you do before Geckos? Or are you still working other jobs? This is our full-time
job.
Full-time. We were both police officers.
Yes.
I worked for Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office, and he worked for Spartanburg City Police Department. And I was a night shifter, and he worked most of his career on night shift, and then he was day. So
Yeah,
there
there's
when we began
7 years on night.
yeah. Then I was working nights. I also worked at 911 before I went to the street.
911 is
So,
dispatch, guys. So
dispatchers.
it's like, what's 911? Ain't that's the police.
Well, yeah, 911 is dispatch. It's like when you call 911, like I would answer like Spartanburg 911. What's the address of your emergency? But after that, I went to the academy, the Criminal Justice Academy here in South Carolina.
Yes, very tough job. Very tough job on both sides.
Miserable job
within the ranks of the political agendas, as well as the streets as well. Going to Tinley. Yes, actually we are.
As attendees.
We will attending Tinley. So we will be in there. Hopefully. Hey, you guys see us in the line with you guys. Come say hey.
Yeah.
We definitely going for tons of pictures.
We got some new jerseys to wear.
We got some new jerseys, some new merchandise. I can't wait. A lot of people have been asking us about the jerseys. We may do a short run of jerseys in 2023. We're trying out a few different things. We have quite a few jerseys now, different designs, different colors. So you guys are going to see some different styles in Tinley when we get out there.
Yeah. Have you ever had stolen at a show? Not that we know of.
No, I would say no.
If it was like a T-shirt or a bracelet or something like that.
Maybe something like something someone may have thought was a gift or something like that. But as far as a gecko, no. Thank goodness. But I kind of walk around that table, walking the perimeter.
A lot of people don't like to.
I don't know why I'm a big teddy bear.
Yeah. By the time you snatch one of those geckos off that table and start running, you're gonna want to get out of there real quick. Like, let me just tell you, because you got both of us coming. So it's not just one; it's both.
Oh my gosh.
So somebody said, and she worked in the ER and loved hanging with the blue in there. You guys switch places. I want to see the hot chick out.
See,
he likes my dance moves.
Limey's cheating on me now. Limey's cheating on me.
Oh, okay.
Are you guys? So again, for the Show Me Show in Greenville, we are planning at this point. I didn't even really know about it, but we're planning on attending the show. We won't be vending the show. We're trying to get out and vend more shows, but bigger shows. We want to get all over the states and go everywhere. And actually, we want to do international. We have plans to go Korea.
We're going to South Korea.
Yes, we're going to Korea.
We're so excited
and hopefully the UK and do
maybe
a ham show or something like that. We're actually getting to meet Crimson Krusty's
Donna. Yes, I'm so
Tinley.
excited.
So that's kind of cool. We want to network and keep leveling up and try to push in a direction that's not the norm. So we're gonna do more shows, but we want to do bigger platform shows. We want more space, more venue. We're getting to a point where we can kind of fill any space with content, whether it's merchandise or geckos. We can probably fill 500 enclosures at a show with available geckos if we needed to. So if we get an entire island and bring all the kids to vend and work it, we can do that. And we have a ton of merchandise. Merchandise have taken over our entire garage. We have, boxes and boxes and boxes of t-shirts and hoodies and everything. So we're going to continue, and that's just the 2022 version. We still have a complete rollout of merchandise that we are coming up on for 2023. We got to constantly change and improve and grow, or change and improve to grow.
Oh, Teslas, yes. You can guarantee that we will vlog that entire experience.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that one will happen.
We're trying to get better with that as well. We're trying to vlog everything. Mm-hmm. So we're working at it.
Mm-hmm. That's 13-year-old.
What is that?
That's hilarious. Limey. Y'all, he has gotten real good on that one.
Limey is a old hairy man, and he said that's not a beard.
That's not a beard. That's 13-year-old's
pubic
hair.
He's
a mess now. Oh, did you ask her for a number? And she said 911 emergencies only.
Oh, he got jokes.
Mhm.
Why? He's funny.
Yep.
Let's see.
So let's see. Flawless Crested Gecko mascot costumes.
We
That's
got.
what
I
she.
don't know. Do we have time to kind of make some? We're gonna research. You know what? We're gonna
Research.
plan on attending in costumes. Why not?
Okay. We'll see. I'm gonna go as a plant.
Flawless Care Bears until you steal. Yes.
Oh yeah. I would
Yes.
like to be
Yes.
Flawless
Yes.
Care
Yes.
Bear. Do you only do the huge shows? What's the closest show you do to home? We didn't start doing shows until last year. We actually started in September of last year at Fort Mill,
Mhm.
and we did that to get out behind the computer because we've been doing this 6 years now, so everything's been internet based.
Right.
So we did we got out and met some people, met a lot of the people that we've
Mhm.
worked with professionally, and got to meet some of the newer people that we obviously weren't in that realm, so it was really wonderful.
It's tough. So what we try to put out there when we do our Patreons is trying to make it relative to what you guys are going to see or what to expect. A lot of people think that you can work on your collections and grow, and then when you start doing your shows and getting out there, it's sustainable. In our opinion, it's not really self sustainability at that point. And what do I mean by that? Certain people, yeah, I'm sure you can make ends meet and just do shows and run, all over every weekend. But that's not really living life. We didn't get out
No.
of one profession to get into this business and worry about the care of our animals and the health of our animals, and then literally run 52 weekends out of the year all over the map, to be able to make a living. Um, because contrary to popular belief, we want to do shows to get out and meet people.
Mhm.
I mean, doing show, you may make a little bit of money here and there, but it's nowhere near. We did a video a while back about internet sales versus shows.
We
It's
do. With
nowhere
that is
near
actually
internet sales.
way down in the history from
Um,
on our YouTube channel.
you got to look at the popular trends and what works for you and where your clientele is. And in this hobby, as far as crested geckos, we compare it at a ratio of crested geckos being one and ball pythons, we'll use that example, as being 1,000. So it's literally that's the ratio you're working with when you're actually out there in the hobbies. You have that many more people involved in that genre and those species of animals than into the crested geckos. A lot of the time we're at these shows and we're literally just educating people on what crested geckos even are,
Mhm.
and what the genetics are and how we get to where we are. And we love it, but you're not there just raking in the money at shows. That's not how it necessarily works for crested geckos. So we don't want to put the false narrative out there as, hey, you breed these geckos, you get these geckos from us or anyone, and then you start breeding on a higher level, and then all of a sudden you start making a ton of money at shows. No, shows tend to be typically a flea market, typically, where it's kind of like, let's make a deal, let's do this, let's do that. We want to make it so, hey, you can do whatever you want at a show, but our main important goal is to go there, get on camera, take some pictures with some really cool people, and meet some genuine
Have
people.
some good conversation,
Yes.
and because a lot of the people that we have met at shows have you know had that good conversation
Mm-hmm.
with us. We've had these conversations through our Instagram DMs or whatever. They've hit us up at times after, and eventually they've come and they wanted to purchase from us, which is great. That's awesome, like that's great. But at the same time, even if they never purchase from us at all, we're okay with that
Yep.
because we got to meet, we got to educate, we got to learn some stuff for ourselves. It's like Tom, who's been on here. He's been on both Instagram and the YouTube now, and he's we had a really good conversation at Schaumburg this past year.
Oh
Like
yeah.
he really, is a wealth of information. So it's stuff like that. Like like Ricky, he said he looks at shows like flea markets. Yes, it's kind of like I don't necessarily go to a show to like pick up a bunch of stuff because I'm already researching these breeders. If a breeder is going to a show, if I know that breeder is going to that show and I want something specific from that breeder,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, obviously. But that's not the I'm going to a show to pick up a pet. you know what I'm saying? I'm going to a show to pick up something that's very specific to my collection.
Right.
So
And that bar raises as you continue to work with your program. So you can start wherever you start, whether you have two geckos, whether they are from Petco or Pet Store, or they are middle ground or they're entry level. You can start anywhere. But the goal, no matter where you start, should be to improve what you're working with. That it has to be to improve, regardless of the level. It has to be to improve. If it's not to improve, it's not worth it.
Let's hit those last few.
Limey said, I should go to this show as a choir boy.
Yeah.
Do higher end
Limey.
geckos sell at expos? It depends. We don't change our pricing.
No, yeah.
It's pretty much our pricing is our pricing. Someone asked, do higher end geckos sell at expos? Again, it kind of goes back to what Audrey was saying. We have literally people that may be selling geckos for $100 on a table, next to us, and we don't even.
I'm okay with
we don't
like,
even. Yeah, we're fine. We don't really
us.
go around and even really look. We look to meet the people. We go and talk to the vendors. We hang out, but it's not. We don't adjust our pricing according to what someone else is going on. So,
and here's the thing: it doesn't, to go and look at somebody's prices to know what they're doing and all that kind of stuff it only leads to negativity. I don't care what your prices are because at the end of the day, we're all in this kind of together. And if that works for you, that works for you. What works for us, and we can all coexist.
Absolutely. And there's room for everyone.
Yeah. It's not talking down about anybody else's business. It's not talking down about the quality of their geckos. It's not talking down about anything.
It's actually the opposite. Yeah. We actually encourage people. Actually, it's a funny thing because other vendors, they'll bring people to our table and show them things that they need to start projects or if they're looking for specific stuff. That being said, is quite crazy because we tell people at the same thing at our table. We introduce them to other breeders, other vendors, and at the same time, and maybe people on here that's met us and they're like, we've told them like, look, we met you at a show, we gave you all the information, we talked to you for 30, 40 minutes with no expectations of you spending money with us. Actually, we even tell you before you walk away, listen, also, if you find any other, geckos that you decide that you want to purchase and you have issues down the road, contact us and we'll do our best to help you out with someone else's purchase. Doesn't matter to us. It's so much room in this hobby to grow. It's room for everyone.
Yep. Hey, it's Maggie. Glenny Geckos. Yes. They're doing a little YouTube channel as well. So just like us. So if you've not followed Glenny, that's Glenny_Geckos. Go follow them. They're also on Instagram. Wonderful people. And Rolly Boys, he says you should go in a romper and pose as Bob Boo. I think it would be perfect.
I think I'm a little too big to pose as well. Actually, Bob who hit me up earlier talking about personal training. He wants me to train him because we was actually at Audrey didn't make her, she was sick, but I was at Bob Boo's house a couple weeks ago now. Limey said people like to put a face to the name. Accurate.
Yes, they do. Accurate. They do, absolutely. It's nice because you can really create some awesome relationships with a ton of different people. Thank you, Tom, for saying that. I really appreciate it. Your positive influence in the community is great, and that's what we're searching for.
Absolutely. And we also notice with some people have communication barriers, and I like to pride us on our history as far as being in law enforcement, that you have to learn how to communicate with different people. And I think things may be taken out of context often. And once something rubs someone the wrong way, then you start to have issues with people. So we don't get involved in any of that. We want to be that person where you can come to us and say, hey, this don't sound right, or this may have came out from you differently or wrong. And I want to learn how I can improve. I want to learn how we can go to the next level, and how we always, when we're putting out information into the industry or into the atmosphere on Crested Geckos, we're just trying to advise on what has been working for us. And hopefully that can assist the next person improve their projects. It's not putting out there saying that this is the only way to do this. That's not what we want to communicate. Seraphic. How you say it? Seraphic said that she's not good at internet sales. It's very tough. You have to work your angles, work your programs, and you got to be relentless.
Yeah.
And then just goes to
And
consistency.
too with Morph Market, because Morph Market is something I see you mentioned with Morph Market, you need to have great quality pictures.
Yes,
Period across the board. When you're doing internet sales, it needs to be quality pictures, but none of that filtering crap. Do
right,
not filter your pictures. Make sure you show what's truly there as best as you can. Anytime you order something off the internet, it's going to be a little bit different. But the idea is that you take those pictures as true to form as you can with the best lighting as you can. And then when that gecko arrives at whoever's house it's going to, whoever's breeding business it's going to, they pull it out and they're like, wow, the picture just didn't do this
right.
gecko justice.
And it doesn't really have to be expensive equipment all
No,
the time. Just
no,
do the best you can.
no.
Show some effort. Take if you don't have a lighting system, that's fine. Wait till a good day and go outside and take it under natural light. That's the preferred method anyway. Um,
That's awesome, Travis. Thank you for saying that. It was a show last year that we met, guys, and it made such an impression on us. We started following your social medias and have asked a lot of questions, so always truthful answers and great service.
that's what we want to be known
We
for.
appreciate that. If it's a longer reply, it's usually me. If it's short and to the point, it's usually him.
I try to give the meat and potatoes.
He's a man of few words when it comes to like text messages and stuff. Y'all, I'll text him like, this must be a woman thing. I'll text him like this whole interesting thing that I picked up on. He'll be like, okay.
Okay. I mean, I just trying to acknowledge.
If I were, I would be like right in front of him. He says K. I'm like,
we got to give Limey a shirt, a flawless Crusty Gecko shirt, so he can wear it while he cleans rats.
Okay.
He really switched places. No,
he's got to cut the sleeves off and make it like a tank.
And the collar. He got to let the hamburger meat, hang out. Yeah. But we're gonna try to get to the end of these questions. We'll let me know if that's.
Tries to change the edit. Yeah, it does. That's really annoying.
Okay, we'll do.
Let's see. Sorry, we're trying to go back and forth between the Instagram live and the YouTube.
Awesome. Enjoy watching your videos.
Camo and Geo's Adventures. What's your favorite morph of crested geckos?
Yes.
All of them. Xanthics are mine. I think he said that the high white with the red bases are his. So
yes, definitely mine. What's up, Robbie? What's going on? He's in the comments as well.
Simple light boxes, yes.
And Limey, you already missed the flex. You gotta go watch some more videos to see me flex.
Seraphic, just get on YouTube and really research how to take pictures with the equipment that you have.
Right. I will tell you word of advice, just a general blanket. If you can improve your lighting, you can almost maximize the quality of whatever camera or phone you're using. So if you can improve your lighting situation, you can get your best quality pictures out of it. I'm sure he doesn't mind, but you can also inbox us as well as Robbie. Robbie's Reptiles, his actual profession is dealing with cinematography. So he even commented down below, you can use a $400 camera and a $30 light and get amazing pictures. And again, it's investing in your business.
And we've had Tom over here at Geckological and Travis saying that the photo boxes, the light boxes, that is where it's at.
Absolutely, because then you don't have to worry about weather and everything.
And Mike, he says those light boxes are inexpensive, and they are. They're very. You can find them off of Amazon for very inexpensive prices to start off with.
Yeah, and we actually got a video coming up on actually a light box as well.
Yeah.
Window lighting. You don't want to spend any money. Yep. Accurate. So just wanted to say thanks. A lot of good information. You two are great at this. Hopefully one day I can get to your level. Thank you guys. Dark Forest Geckos. We really, really apprite it.
Thank you, Limey. I love Limey. He's such a good guy.
Yes, I still gotta bust their balls.
Yes. If Limey doesn't pick on you, like
yes,
you might as well just go on because this.
And Robbie doesn't really like light boxes, but that's because I can see he's a
He's
perfectionist.
a professional.
And being a professional, I can understand where you can find
see.
flaws in it, definitely.
Okay, so we have been on this almost 2 hours.
All right, yep, we're gonna let you guys
So we gotta let you go.
22
but
people still
22
currently
people
watching.
still here.
That's amazing. 13 people on
We
Instagram.
appreciate you so much. I will answer this last question. When is a good time to handle crested geckos? Mine are jumpy and always escapes. That is something that
You have to get comfortable
you just
with.
have to get comfortable with.
As they age, they will calm down
some.
as you hold them. You try not to restrain them, obviously. But you'll learn that once you get so familiar with them, it won't even matter. If you're wanting to hold, I guess, like a newer hatchling and your experience, you won't hesitate to handle it.
And they can, animals can feel your vibe.
Absolutely.
So
and then you'll start actually anticipating where they're going to land and catching them midair. You kind of started getting good at that as well.
Yeah.
But
so we are going to end it.
Yes. Good night, everyone. We really wait. We got to give away. We got to do the giveaway. So
the bag.
Let's see. Pick a video that we were just in.
A video?
Yeah.
Are you on YouTube?
Yeah, we can go our last video, whatever the last video is. Was
me dancing?
Oh yeah, you're dancing. So we're gonna go to her dance moves.
It's gonna be the Diamond Series episode 14 Jigsaw.
Right. So if you go to that video, guys, who's still with us, even if you're on Instagram, if you go to that video on YouTube and in the comment section,
Billy Ray.
Well, all right, so if you message Billy Ray, how do you spell? Because I don't even know the guy. So spell his name out.
Billy Ray.
Exactly the way you need to spell it in the comments.
Billy space Ray.
There you go. So Billy common
Ray.
Spelling space Ray.
Write it in the comments on that episode 14 Jigsaw.
Yes.
And on our YouTube channel. Go ahead and do that. And then we'll do that drawing. And we'll once we do that drawing, we're
gonna do it. Right. Yeah. Actually, go now since the live is concluding. So everybody can jump over there. We'll hold this open for another, let's go 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
So 11:05, we'll do the drawing. You got to go to the site. What site we use?
Here, you just do it. You do it.
Yeah. Limey still chiming in.
Aww. Yes, you do. Look, you do whatever you can to wipe it up, to get it up.
He said he's going to use flawless t-shirt to clean crap.
Clean his poopy up, his snake poop. Somebody said, I love the fact that y'all interact with small hobbyists. I hate when breeders just speak to make a sale. Y'all actually relate to the people you interact with and try to help.
Thank you very much. That's what we want to do.
Yes, we absolutely do. Thank you. He's so excited.
Who? He's so silly.
Doolittle, go to the episode 14 Jigsaw on our YouTube channel, that video, and comment Billy Ray. Like, yeah, BILLY space RAY.
Okay. Now, how do you get to your YouTube? You got these app things.
Oh, sorry. That's the Patreon. There you go.
Did it cut off?
It cut off in the worst spot, period.
Let us switch. Hold on. So
there we go. Okay, we're back. They said they could hear us. Ooh, that camera's way worse. Oh my god.
Sorry, guys. That's the webcam. I guess our other camera finally died.
Like bodybuilding stage 10. That's what that looks like. I look like I could wipe the grease off of my forehead right now.
Oh
Like,
my
this is
gosh.
not okay.
Okay, so we're gonna do
You
the
guys to hurry
Billy
this up.
Ray.
Oh, you say you're good. Thank you. Mm-mm-mm.
Is it 11:05 yet? Almost.
It's almost 11:05.
Mm-mm-mm.
So if you haven't, go ahead. Oh, Maggie, you're too sweet. Oh, I love her. You need to come visit me. He said, "You're beautiful, shush. Take notes."
You're so silly.
He loves me.
11:05. Okay.
It's 11:04. Here we
Let's see
go.
what we got. Oh, Tesla's
Tesla's
geckos.
geckos.
Let's see if it get clear. There we go. Tesla's geckos. So message us. It doesn't matter which platform, which social media
Yeah.
platform. Message us, and we'll make sure we get you your flawless crested gecko bag shipped out this week.
Yeah.
Congrats! Congrats!
Yay.
Congrats!
So if you follow us on Instagram, you can just DM
Anywhere,
us on Instagram or Facebook or
Yeah. So, guys, enjoy your night. Thank you guys for literally burning up 2 hours tonight
I
of
know.
Gecko talk. That was cool.
Like,
Thank you guys
this
so
blows my
much.
mind.
Thank you
guys are
guys
so
for hanging out with
awesome.
us, actually on Instagram as well. We're just having a blast. But good night to everyone. Enjoy your weekend.
Yes. Bye.
Just gotta end everything.
They end everything.